Okay, good afternoon or evening or morning, Speed Gaming for wherever you all may be. Welcome to a Link to the Past League Season 5 matchup between Gamachu of Team Divine Beastie Boys and Adalor of Team Oops All Foxes. We have a Week 3 matchup. The mode this week is Casual Boots. I'm joined here today in commentary with Juber. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, Jambro, doing fine, and yourself?
I'm doing great. Excited to do this, see how this race unfolds, do some commentary with you. And it actually looks like these runners are underway.
Yep, we started already. So it's basically casual boots. The first 5 to 6 minutes are quite standard. We're not gonna see much divergence between both players. All going to save Zelda.
Yeah, these first 6 minutes or so, I'd say even the first 10 minutes are usually pretty standard unless you get some kind of ridiculous things that you find. Our first 2 checks already giving us a ton of money. And I did see, Gamachu did a quick map check earlier. We did see a green pendant on Eastern Palace, I believe it was, and one of the 5-6 crystals was on Desert Palace, so...
Yeah, and having a green pendant on Eastern means also that we're quite sure to get a pretty standard first 10 minutes. Because I was about to say, oh, people could maybe do a CAC skip and head straight to Eastern, but we get a green pendant? Nah, don't feel like that.
Yep, the only way I could see anything different would really be if we find a bow somewhere in Escape and one of the runners decides they want to just be a little risky or even like aggressive, I guess you could call it, with their routing. Because it's the green pendant, that entire area is effectively 7 items. But that before Kakariko, pretty unlikely from these runners with the level of play that we normally see from them.
Yeah, actually that we could maybe expect something like that from Adidor, because he spoke about doing risky plays. He and his team need to do risky plays now. They're currently a bit behind when it comes to the ranking in their league. They have yet to get a win. So yeah, I mean, doing risky plays might be the way to break the curse and to put a lovely 1 in front of a win column.
Yeah, and on that note, Gamachu's team, the Divine Beastie Boys, currently undefeated this league season, currently with a 5-0 record.
Yep, seeing as we are almost at the half, we're almost done with the first half of the season, that's quite a feat. So considering this is the Invitational, it's basically a murder team after murder team. I mean, we said that Adilor and his team, they have not a win, but I mean, we're looking at players named Adilor, Trey Spire, and Chloe Prower. I mean, these aren't no-name players, so when you think that these people didn't get a win yet, you just wonder, like, what the hell are the opponents?
Alright, we do see, so far, these runners finding nothing but money. They're not going to have to worry about Zora money, bottle merchant money. We already found a pack of bombs as well, so like we're not really worried about that for the most part, because for early game bombs, you're really only worried about like that first 1 or 2 packs to get you through CAC, because after that you're probably just going to find them naturally as you go.
Yeah, either through drops from enemies or other items. Yeah. So other chests. Yeah, so far really standard escape.
Both runners here now into the dark rooms of Hyrule Castle. And finding the map in Dark Cross, so we know the last 4 checks here are all going to be something.
Indeed, and I hope to see maybe some progression here so that we can start thinking about what maybe our players are gonna do next. Things like getting maybe a flute or getting a bottle, things that would help also complete Kakariko in one set, in one go. Would
Yeah,
be nice.
I've seen runners in the past, you know, if they don't have anything like that coming out of Escape, will save and quit and do South Shore first. I don't know about Adalor, and I can't remember if Gamachu typically does that or not, but I don't think so.
I mean, actually, that would be interesting here when you think about that. They've got the boots, they've got enough money to go up to Zora.
Yeah, I mean, it's a play that I wouldn't really hate in this particular scenario. And Back of Escape continuing to just give us tons of money, except also giving us the gloves. I almost guarantee you here that Gamma is going to do the old man here. Just to get that save and quit spot, because I've seen him do this in the past, and I feel like it's for the memes. But we'll see. Yeah, and Adelar getting out of Escape here too.
That's an interesting play for sure, but I mean, if you've already saved the old man, and so you've got the 7 quid, then the moment you get the hook shot, or the moment you get the mirror, then you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the mountain. I just need to 7 quid, and I'll be there. Instead of, okay, should I want? Imagine later in the seed you get your mirror or your hook shot, and you're like, okay, do I want to wait for the flute maybe?
Yeah. A little bit of slight route divergence here. Adler going to go up here and check the lumberjack, whereas Gamma decided to skip making this check. I know a lot of runners that I've talked to are kind of split on this decision, especially in casual boots, just because you already have a couple of the pieces needed for the Aga play. Okay, so Gamma's checking it as well, just taking a slightly different route.
Yeah, in normal over modes, like where you don't start with the boots, I understand that you don't want necessarily to check Lumberjack as long as you don't have the boots, or basically Aga set in logic. But yeah, in casual boots it does make sense.
Here it is from Gamma. He's doing the old man rescue.
I mean, you just need to find then the mirror or the hook shot on the old man or on Spectacle Rock, and then that's like a brain play, a big brain play. Meanwhile, Adilar's going like the standard route now. Okay, so going to this density.
Yep, exactly what I was about to say. We have Gamma meme routing over here while Adalor is taking the more traditional route, and we get a bow on the old man.
1-0 for the memes.
What is about to happen here is it looks like Gamma's just...
It's just gonna go for Eastern now.
No,
not even that.
Not sure.
Interestingly enough, he like saved and quitted right after getting the bow. Didn't even bother checking Spectacle Rock, which is interesting itself because that's one information and one other item. I feel like once you've already committed to going there, you should maybe do this 2 checks on top. Don't know.
Yeah. Okay, Adalor dropping into the back of the wall here and finds a Master Sword. It's always a good thing to find. And Moon Pearl in Mini Modorm Cave, but not much else.
Yeah, although I like to say not much else. Like the Moon Pearl itself is not like a small item. Yeah, I think this Moon Pearl right here is really helpful for Gamachu to secure the check of the waterfall ferry, because you're definitely sure that you're not gonna get trolled by any piece of heart that would reset your your flipper state.
Nothing a nice rod cave here. I'm curious to see if Gamachu does the man under the bridge. In talking with him, he seems to notoriously hate that check.
Meanwhile, we saw Adilor getting another 300 rupees. So
Yeah.
we're not even 10 minutes in the seed, we'll be almost at 1,000.
Yeah, and there was one on the lumberjack as well. Yeah, checks Hylia Island, sees some rupees, and gets out of there. Is heading to the pyramid, not the pyramid, the waterfall ferry. Library with nothing, and we have a bottle. So
Yeah, so that's gonna be helpful for Gamachu when he's gonna go to Kakariko, if he ever does go to Kakariko. He'll be able to also check Sick Kid at once in one go, whereas Adilor will have to go back to Kakariko for that. So
and Zora with the hammer. So that's Dark World access.
Wow. Almost sub 10. So yeah, the cack skip pays out.
Yeah, this just might be a full cack skip. Okay, no. Looks like Gam is at least going to go do the dam here.
Yeah, and Pod would be fully finishable now. Not in logic, but finishable for Gamachu.
And without even having the fire rod, the Dark Turtle Room with only 3 hearts sounds miserable.
I mean, it's the Invitational. I expect them to be able to do it.
And Adalor about to get their Moon Pearl here, while Gamachu heads here over to Agina's cave.
Interesting choice. He's got already his Dark World access, but he's deciding still to do a, let's say, low person check. Interesting.
Just a heart container on desert ledge there.
Let's see if Adilor decides to also do the Welcome Water glitch and go up to Zora. So otherwise he's gonna miss on his hammer for quite some time.
Yeah, I feel like with this amount of money, you just do it by default. Especially if you're coming here all the way over to Ice Rod Cave. Okay, Gam is heading over to Saha. We'll see if he decides to go into Eastern Palace as well. Not having a good time with spin speed there. Adalor is going to check man under the bridge here. I check that Gamma skipped. Gamma is not going into Eastern Palace.
No, understandable, because while you would be able to either go into Eastern Event Pod or go straight to Pod, we can see here, or not. I thought he was about to go to the Hype Cave.
Well, I think this looks like it's going to be a south to north Kakariko, and then head straight to Village of Outcasts.
That does make sense. So in my opinion, interesting. If you've skipped Gag for so long, and you're still nothing behind because you got progression left and right, I would have thought that going into a Hype Cave, getting these 5 checks, also then making a map check.
Yeah, I think
would you have some time to think about the routing that you want to go? You can see then, okay, is bar dependent? Okay, I'm gonna maybe save and quit and go to a Village of Outcasts, or is the Crystal? I'm gonna go there, and while I full clear of that tension, I can maybe think a bit about what are gonna be my next steps.
Yeah, but, hype to dig I really like here, just because just for the same reason I was saying earlier, even if Pod is a crystal, Oh, Bombos on the sick kid. But yeah, even if pot is a crystal, like invitational runners, very good, but none want to go into 3 heart green mail pod dark rooms under like nearly any circumstances. So doing all these checks just to maybe get some more safeties or to get that information would be pretty crucial. But you know, part of rando is just the routes that the runners take, right? Like
Indeed. And Geometry is taking us for quite a wild ride.
yeah, but fortunately, getting his Master Sword as a result. Adel are going to get their Bombos here, and it looks like these players are going to converge heading into Village of Outcasts.
Indeed.
Adelor will be heading into Village of Outcasts slightly ahead of Gamachu, but with a few less checks under his belt, namely Saha and
The old
Agina.
man.
And the old man, yeah. The old man definitely being the most important one. Oh, and Adelor grabbing the big magic from the bonk tree there. Good memory there that's there. And it looks like we have Pendant Swamp and Thieves Town. I didn't see where the last 5-6 was for sure, but I want to say it was Pod.
Not sure. I didn't catch that one either. I was more concentrated on the pendants as well.
Ice Palace, chat is confirming. And 2 people in chat confirming that even. And since we know chat is never wrong, we're going to believe chat. Kappa. But yes, I do believe chat in this instance. Adelor is in Skull Woods, dipping the front here. You see a lot of runners do this. Basically treating front of Skull Woods as basically as if it was part of the overworld.
Yeah, it does make sense. Skullwoods also is notoriously known for holding progression like 1 out of 3 times.
Yeah.
Statistically. So you don't want to miss out on an item there, because after you've checked the area of Village of Outcast and Thieves Town, as long as you don't have a fire rod, just going back to Skullwoods for 1 chance or maybe 2 chance at items, it's a bit risky. So doing it up front is really the better play, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And I really like this play too. Where we get the big key.
So far, did we see an item?
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any. Gamma getting grabbed with his sword out.
Needs to be careful though now, because we've only 1 heart in the green mail. Any hit would bring him back to Link's house.
Being a little careful here with these enemies here, but should be safe here, and very easy to just taking the death warp immediately just to refill health.
Yeah, because otherwise it's gonna be a bit hard for him to make the bomb jump. So required death warp.
I mean, Gamma hasn't done the front yet, so could have done the other checks first, but yeah, I don't mind just seeing it immediately. And yeah, it looks like we have 2 items in the back, unless we missed an item in the front.
I do believe these are 2 items in the back.
Yeah, which as a runner, you really hate to see that, because you're like, oh man, I did all of this for absolutely nothing. Oh, and we see a red cane on Bumper Ledge. So we know that cape is going to be required.
Indeed. Like it's brutal to see that, because you see where the Soma is, just you can't touch it, you can't have it, you want it.
Adler finally getting a fourth heart container. We're a little starved for health early in this seed. Okay, Gamma heading over here, going to get that bumper ledge information. Be curious to see if either of these runners decide to do all of Thieves Town, or if they're both going to just do the front four.
I think that's going to be mainly dependent on the number of items you find in the front. Because if you find only one items, okay, you know there are 3 items in the back, it's quite enticing. But
yeah, and there's a flippers is our first item. So speaking of required items, well, actually no, well, logically required, but it is.
We can still have some progression inside Swamp Palace as well, so...
yeah, we certainly can.
I think getting the flippers that early might be a hint at that.
Yeah, and there's our second item out of the front. So we have 2 items in the back. We'll see if Adalor decides to go for them or not. And looks like they are.
It's going to be interesting to see if Gamma actually decides to do the same play or not, because if you skip the back of 5th turn now, you're going to skip it for quite some time. Only if you're like dying for items and you don't have anything else to check. So if there are items in the back here and Gamaju decides not to go there, that could be huge for Adilor. But we need first to see if there are items at all.
Gamma already setting up for the death warp with bombs, so is saying, you know, 2 items, I'm done here.
Yeah, especially with the flippers, which are potentially like a huge progression item. Or the path logically to Ice Palace. So maybe in his mind, Gamachu is thinking, okay, this dungeon has served its purpose, that provide me progression. I don't think there's going to be any other there.
There's the mitts.
Alright.
So...
that's Ice Palace access.
Ice Palace fully in logic. Well, maybe not. It depends on the key layout.
And that's an Ice Palace that's gonna be without the Somalia, I believe.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure where we're gonna find this cape. I would even imagine the cape being on Coldstair or something like that.
So Gamma grabbing the blue boomerang there out of hammer pegs. And we'll see what the dig game here has, while Adalor gets a small key out of the Maiden's chest. And just 10 arrows in the Thieves Town big chest. I believe the attic chest was also nothing, so I think we do have an item on blind.
We do have an item on blind, yeah. So it's a bit annoying for Adilor, because I think he would have maybe either save and quitted or done a death warp if he found the 2 items earlier. But now he had to commit to the whole dungeon. And blind on 4 hearts.
Yeah, and again, going back to this being invitational, with the blind script, this should be a pretty free fight, but it's definitely easy to make a small mistake and have the script go, you know, go pretty bad. But Adalor doing perfectly fine, killing blind with 0 damage and just getting a piece of heart. So you went all the way through Thieves Town for an extra 2 items and found nothing. Doesn't feel great, I'm sure.
So now your only hope, so to say, there is for this seed to be a pet seed. Because otherwise you know that you've invested a few minutes too much.
Yeah, about to get
Check.
their mitts here while Gamma doing Hype Cave. There's the lamp. And Quake. And a couple heart containers.
That's a good cave.
It's a pretty decent Hype Cave in the year 2022. Oh, is Gamma going to go all the way up to Catfish?
Looks like it. First
Gamma,
pyramid and then
he hates Catfish though. This is wild. Yeah, Gamma is going to Catfish. Yeah. I don't hate to play, but it's very uncharacteristic of Gamma.
that's indeed quite interesting. Maybe you can ask him later in the interview why the catfish. Now
Yeah,
imagine if catfish has progression and like.
I'm not even sure I'm actually watching Gamma play right now. I mean, full disclosure, being completely sarcastic there, I actually do believe that this is Gamma playing, but this is very unlike him. And he's probably saying something like, oh, 5 rupees, typical. The one time I actually check Catfish, it's absolutely nothing. This is why it's such a bad check, blah, blah, blah.
Meanwhile, I done is to be careful, only 1 heart left. I don't want to die on the way to...
Should
to
be
Hype
good
Cave.
here, yeah. Again, we're going to check King's Tomb here. And just getting another $5. Adalor getting their lamp, couple heart containers, and Quake. Looks like Gamer's going to head over here, turn in the Smiths, and then I would not be surprised at all to see the pod play after that.
Pod or... Do you think he would go to ice? I mean, you know him quite well.
I think... It's hard to say. You can do both. Both are crystals. Like, I feel like pod just seems like a slightly Gamma? What are you...
Yep, he's stooped.
As I was saying.
That's what happens when you do catfish too early.
Yeah. And just getting a shield from the Smiths. Okay. Making notes. Gamma, what was that bat drop down? Question marks. So you... Yeah, it looks like this is in fact the pod play. And as I was saying, like, you can do both. Ice Palace feels a little bit more aggressive because it's 3 items versus 5, and like, sure, with the amount of health that you have and everything, like, it's pretty likely that you're able to do Ice Palace and not be in a lot of danger. But there's so many things that you can find in pod to make Ice Palace just more comfortable. Yeah.
Yep. Also, thinking about that, with the Hype Cave now, the bow is also in logic, so pod is fully in logic.
Exactly.
The fire source also helps navigating through these dark rooms.
Yep.
Like, duh.
And the other thing is that, like, even though it's not 100% like guaranteed, but Ice Palace could potentially not be fully in logic right now. It's not one of those things that you really like. Ice Palace logic is not a thing a lot of runners really keep in the back of their mind. It's either you can clear it or you can't. But Hookshot or Kane do have pretty big logic implications for that dungeon.
Also, the cane helps a lot navigating the dungeon and sparing a lot of time. So I would imagine Gamachul maybe banking on a cape inside of Pod, which would then make the Cane of Samaya available and then skip a lot of time, so save a lot of time in Ice Palace.
Yep. Adalor here, saving quitting, and curious to see what they do next, because, again, they don't have that bow yet. Looks like they're heading over to the eastern area, so definitely going to do Saha here first. I'll be curious to see after that if they make the eastern dip or head down to the portal and dip Pod.
Yep. They won't find anything behind Sasra. So for Adilor currently there is no incentive to go to the mountain. There is no mirror, there is no flute, there is no hookshot. So it's either they stay in this area or maybe they go to ice, but I don't see them going to the mountain.
We found one non-key so far here in the front of Pod, so we'll see if we find another one or not. And it looks like Adalor is going to head to Eastern Palace first here. Without the bow, I think this makes a lot of sense. Make this dip, see what you can find. And if you find nothing, take a Death Warp and then head to Pod. Alright, again, we're going to head to the back. We did find Blue Mail as the second item here in the front, so we know the big key is going to be in the back. Still 3 items to find here in Pod.
And so far, no progression, so...
There's that big key.
I mean, that's gonna be a crystal anyway, but progression would also be fine.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, and with the compass there, we know that Harmless Hellway has our last small key, so I'm going to see Gamut skip that.
There's one thing I'm really curious about right now is what's in and on Spectacle Rock.
Yeah.
Because imagine if there were if you find the mirror or the hookshot there, I think Gamatsu will go crazy.
Gamma setting up for a Death Warp here. I will laugh if it's another piece of heart and it's his last. Oh, the Fire Rod!
Nice.
That's probably straight back to Skull Woods after Pod. 2 items there. Maybe Ice Palace first, actually.
Having Bombos and the Fire Rod makes Cool Stare definitely more easy.
Yeah, that and that potion that we found was a green, But I do think I like Ice here slightly more, just in case you find the cape in Ice Palace. It makes that route to get the red cane a little nicer. But yeah, I could see it going either way.
Yeah, it's 2 items in Skullwoods, 3 items in Ice Palace. With the caveat, as you said already earlier, that Ice might not be in logic. Skullwoods right now is definitely in logic.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but I think at this point, Ice Palace just it just feels really good.
Indeed, getting that one dungeon out of the way early. Yeah, I would imagine, as you said, finding the cave there, you would definitely feel good having done Ice Palace before waiting for the cane, because you know that you get the cane through going to ice.
Right.
So that's kind of really useful information, and also quickens your routing.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. I think going Skull Woods before ice here is a perfectly reasonable play. Like, I don't hate either play, Ice Palace or Skullwoods here. And we're seeing Gamma with that nice 2-bomb strat for Helma, which I really should learn that, because it seems, one, it looks really cool, and two, it's
really fast.
yeah. And yeah, at 30, almost 35 minutes, Gamma getting his first crystal, and Adalor here with the pod play is going to find nothing but that fire rod, which isn't going to feel great, but is probably going to send them straight to
Ice
not to
Palace
the
or
not to the
Skullwoods.
bow. Yeah, not to the
Indeed.
bow.
And Gamachu made a decision, and it's Skullwoods.
Yeah, it's a Skullwoods play.
That's
a
one
little
that's definitely
little
logic.
surprising, but like I said before, I don't hate it. Actually, you know what? Because Gamma's doing it, I hate it, Kappa.
Gamachu is just throwing us completely off balance. First, the early catfish check. Or even before that, doing the old man, but then just save and quitting after the old man, not even checking the 2 other items. Or better said, the 1 item and the 1 information. That's really interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see where Adilor decides to go after pod, if they want to go to ice or if they also follow in Gamachu's footsteps.
Yeah, for sure. Gamma doing Moth first here, which makes sense. On the chance that Moth has the mirror, you save a little bit of time here.
So 7 hearts, Master Sword. Mafia
Yeah.
shouldn't be too complicated. Gamachu also has the hammer.
Yep. And there's
Doesn't even want to bother with fire rod or with sword. It's like, I'm gonna hammer my way through. Thanks, bye bye.
Yep. And a pretty clean fight. See what Moth has. The bug. Is that desert before ice?
Do you really want to follow the logic, or do you want to go to density? Or, I don't know, but the game is just right now really telling you to just wait for the cape, wait for the cape, wait for the cape.
Maybe Bridge Chest will just have a hook shot, and we'll just go to the mountain.
Is that the commentator's curse in the making?
Oh, and yeah, chat pointing out that book actually makes this a little interesting, because now purple chest is a little enticing, but yeah, save and quitting, it's a long time to go grab that purple chest from there.
Yeah.
But let's see which direction Gamma goes in here. With the Bombos is out, which tells us nothing, because you're going to use the fire rod on the Freezor. Okay, wait, hammer also tells us nothing. Okay, we're heading towards desert. We just haven't quick swapped all the way to the book yet.
I mean, that's gonna be a 3rd crystal, but so far we're still looking for progression that brings us towards.
Yep. And Adalor here saving quitting. Looks like they're heading to Skullwoods here as well. We'll see what Desert has for us here. Wow, Adler's heading into Skullwoods here for those last 2 checks. We have a big key first chest. Yeah, Mirror really opens up this seed. Like, Mirror gives us, well, Swamp, which you really hate to do since it's a pendant, but it also just gives us access to, like, the entire mountain.
Indeed. Light side as well as dark side. That's quite a lot of items. That's also crystal and the information for Turtle Rock. What medallion do we need?
Hey, Tempered Sword. And the hook shot.
Okay, so that's mountain access.
Yeah, that's mountain access. We're going mountain probably right after this. Yeah, everything here is coming up Gamachu, unfortunately for Adalor. There's definitely still, like, you know, race isn't over until it's over, and there are still possibilities for items to be located in just really bad locations for Gamma with the way, you know, he's chosen to route this if Adalor decides to kind of YOLO on certain checks.
So far, the Mafia fight going well for Adilor. Needs to be a bit careful here, but things look good.
Yeah, Moth not playing super nice here. Kind of staying over there on the side. Okay, Moth down. It's a fight that you hate to see a death to Moth just because at that point you're so low magic and it's just a grind to get back.
Yeah, just getting the refill of magic it takes really a lot of time, or you really have to hope for magic refills from either the mummies or from the Medusas.
Yep. All right, and there's our 3rd crystal for Gamachu.
Yep, and I think we're gonna see him then saying good and go to the mountain at long last.
Yeah, we'll see where Gamma decides to head. I wouldn't be surprised at Mountain. Yeah, it's the Mountain play.
So Adilor, having found the book, also decides to head straight to Desert Palace.
Yeah, and the good thing here is that this could lead Adalor to the mountain finally to get that bow.
Yep, I think getting the hook shot, it just definitely pops in your mind like, hey, hang on, now I've got full mountain access, I need to go there. Stop waiting for the flute.
Yeah, not a whole lot in the bottom of Paradox Cave here. But, you know, 5 checks in the top here. Just some bombs, heart container, another heart container.
I think they won't mind getting some more health.
A whole lot
Yeah,
of
some
nothing.
progression would have been good as well.
Yeah, I think at this point with Blue Mail, I mean, Blue Mail, once you get to like, I want to say 7 or 8 heart Blue Mail, you're feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah,
Potentially even less with it being, you know, invitational runners, but anybody who says otherwise, I think, is just trying to like talk a big game. Like, I don't feel like there's any runner that is not going to say no to at least getting to like a 9th or 10th heart, only having Blue Mail. Oh, I
Indeed.
missed what that was on Spec Rock. Oh, cape! Locked by mirror.
And we still don't know what's inside.
So, this is a cool seed. Hey, there's the powder, which Gamma could have used when he dropped down to the bat earlier.
The seed is right now throwing us a bit because like, hey, you see the Sumaya, you need the cape to get it. Hey, hello, you see the cape, you need the mirror to get it.
Yeah, and we
Like
are
teasing all the way through.
we are big key in the basement, so Gamma hoping for the second item to be either in the small chest here or on Moldorm. Meanwhile, Adalor here, heading up to Lamo, has their Tempered Sword and Hookshot in hand.
Yeah, so soon to get their second crystal. And then we'll see where Adila decides to go, but I mean, everything hints at the mountain here.
Yeah, it really does. And there's the second item, so...
No basement today.
Yeah, no basement. And that's our fourth crystal for Gamachu. For as absurd as this seed has been so far, you know, first crystal was only like 11 minutes ago. And we made quick work of the next three. Yeah, going to do Spiral Cave here.
So one interesting thing here is that Gamachu doing now the Spiral Cave. After that, I expect him to go in the Dark Death Mountain and then do the other checks.
Yeah, for sure.
But Spectacle Rock, the inside, we still haven't seen it. And I don't know if Gamachu wants to route it.
The nice thing is it's like it's not very slow to get to from a save and quit. So it's like it's not the fastest check out there, but like it's not like a super out of the way check. It's not like he's missing something in the Hera big chest, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it could still be one of those decision points. Yeah, Adalor heading up to the mountain now, going to get their bow, and I don't know how much Adalor knows about how Gamma routes an early glove in this mode. But I would just say, like, if I personally were Adalor right now, when I see this bow against Gamachu, I would feel absolutely terrible. And it is Bombos for Turtle Rock.
Okay, so where is that mirror?
And a gold sword. And nothing else really up here. Oh, and we are seeing Adalor go up to Spectacle Rock Cave, so...
Yeah, with Gamachu having 7 quitted, it's gonna be interesting. If we have progression here, that's something where...
Just bombs. Yeah. And so it does look like Ice Palace is the play here. I think the only other thing that might be unchecked between these runners right now is Green Pendant turning.
Indeed.
At least logically. The runners could do Spike Cave.
I'm currently not in Logic, if I'm not mistaken. Although, yeah, we do have potions.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So...
I believe it actually requires one of the invincibility items with current logic. I don't remember when that changed, but it was a while ago. but it's with the bottles, it's like
I
just
think
do
the
it
bottles
anyway.
do not help because I mean, just saying the bottles as electrical requirement can't be really working because imagine you only have 3 hearts.
Right.
2 potions won't help.
Yeah, and this is the Ice Palace play. Not surprising at all. We're probably going to find our progression here.
We have some people in the chat calling Ice a loaded dungeon, so...
Yeah, this is...
You
I don't know if it's
early.
going to be... I don't know if it's going to be loaded, but it's definitely going to have progression.
You said it early, the chat does not lie. We trust the chat.
Yeah, we already find one item. Like, it was complete trash, just a heart container. Like, obviously, why would you come here without the cane?
Just wait for Ice Pass to have a mirror and then...
Oh my goodness. I mean, at that point, that gets you your cane, and it gets you access to a bunch of overworld stuff, but other than that, it's the Swamp Palace dip or the Ice Rodless Turtle Rock.
Well,
and, like, which do you go for?
Turtle Rock. Just go Turtle Rock and you hope that it's that the Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock like in 99% of the seeds.
Yeah, like Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod feels bad, but yeah, I think I would just go Turtle Rock in that scenario and just hope for the best. And Adalor here at the top of Hera, going to get their third crystal here shortly, as well as that information that they do not need to do Hera Basement.
So it's going to be interesting to see if Adilor decides to first go back to Pod. Don't think so because if it tracks if they track their items correctly, they'll know that there is no items left in Pod.
Yeah, you just head back there when
you get the flute, or if you need to do also Eastern,
right,
to really like look for your last item.
You basically go back when you're in go mode.
So, where will Adilor go now? So, okay, yes, of course, first do the Dark Death Mountain. That's
yep, this will be Spiral Cave into the Dark Death Mountain checks. Yep.
So far, did we see a second item in Ice or not?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, just some keys, 50 rupees. So there's only one item left.
I mean, that needs to be a huge item then, so that you can still call this dungeon loaded.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very real possibility here that there's just nothing in Ice Palace. Again, we're going to go here for iced tea before the big chest. Lifting that pot for fun. Wow, Gamma, what are these dashes, dude? But yeah, chat pointing out that just with the way the seed is progressing, like, Adalor is probably just going to kind of keep following in Gamma's footsteps. Like, until we're in go mode, it's hard to say, but this is looking...
Yep, quite straightforward. The seed hints at really specific places. It's like an RPG where you would have a main quest and side quest. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna go main. And Ice Palace teasing us quite some more. Final item on Cool Stair.
Yeah, we'll see what it is. Is it going to be mirror, or is it going to be trash leading us to green pendant turn-in?
Or maybe just nothing, and then we'll see maybe the red bomb. Because if I'm not mistaken, Gamma will then be able to do the red bomb.
Oh, right. I, for some reason, didn't even think about that. Yeah, that makes it a little bit less likely for this to be progression, but that ice and oh, there's the mirror. I was
So
going to
you
say,
were
like
saying?
the crystal itself could have been the progression easily, but yeah, there it is.
Wow.
So there's access to the cane.
So
Which
first access to the cave, and then to the cave.
which is like exactly where Game is going to go, and Game is finally going to check the Spectacle Rock Cave.
Yeah. Also, maybe he's gonna check all of the Spike Cave. I mean, it's just there.
Oh yeah, we have.
You're just here. You just got the cave.
Right, we're going to have Cape. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't think he has enough magic or enough bottles, but yeah, with the Cape for sure.
Or maybe dip into Turtle Rock. That would be
You have to go get the
interesting.
cane first, though.
Yeah, sure. It's like really great, you know. Spectacle Rock check 55 minutes in, but Old Man was like after 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, I was just writing that in chat. And here is the Spike Cave check. Yeah. After this, it's kind of anybody's guess. And just a piece of heart. Gamer's 12th heart container, Adalor, of course, in Ice Palace. Kind of as expected. It's Gamma heading straight into Swamp Palace here, not even going for the cane.
Either that or checking the Bombos tablet, maybe?
Don't know if this is Bombo's tablet. Oh, this is Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, it makes sense. You do Pyramid Fairy. After that, you can hookshot on the top right side and then go to the bumper ledge. That way, without doing save and quitting.
Yeah, and you can
routing.
you can do Graveyard Ledge along the way.
Yeah, nice routing. Yeah, with the cane in hand soon. Is it gonna be the TR dip? Or... yeah. Doing a pendant swamp or...
Mushroom and half magic is... you know, half magic is not required, like, at all, right? Like, with Gold Sword... like, you're not worried about having to use your cape on Ganon or, like, any bosses, but you're never upset to find half magic, I guess?
You've got the free pass to spam the fire rod everywhere in the GT climb.
Yeah, exactly. And immediately going to turn in that mushroom. And it's just a heart container. Wow, actually picking up that heart container. What a scrub. I'm going to have to, you know, give him a hard time about that. Which heart container? Question marks? Jeff, he's saying he needs as many safeties as possible. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so we've got Adilor finishing, or let's say still going inside Ice Palace.
Yeah, has to go get iced tea and then head down to the boss. Nothing at Graveyard Ledge. Which, honestly, all of these checks being nothing is not surprising to me. Like, you have to be pretty certain that your next check is, actually, I guess it's not that surprising, or it's a little surprising, I guess, because I would expect my next progression item to be locked behind the mirror specifically, and we know that the cane is locked behind two spheres of logic. But I would expect that our next piece of progression is either in Swamp Palace, just due to density, or in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Turtle Rock has 5 items, and potentially all 5 items are not requiring the ice rod, and there's a good chance that the ice rod is inside the dungeon itself. Or you would have the flute in Turtle Rock to then find the ice rod in Mire. That's I wouldn't put it past the seed right now. Seeing the logic to get to the cane, especially when you see how early you could see that cane.
Yeah. And I guess the next thing to note is that one of chat's favorite things, the pedestal, is technically in play here.
Indeed, ice rod or the flute could be there, or potentially ether. I mean, we might still need ether to enter Mr. Maya.
Yeah. So both are still options. Both? All 3? I don't know. Yeah. 3. I can count. But yeah, Adalor finishing off Cold Stare, they're getting their mirror. See where they head next, but it's probably going to be to go get their cane, essentially.
Yep.
Some form of doing that. Meanwhile, Gamma is in Swamp Palace here. I don't mind the play at all. 6 items.
6 items. You have hook shot, so he has the hook shot, so he can also do the diver down technique.
Yeah, I mean doable with bombs, but it's like 800,000 times more free with the cane.
Indeed.
It doesn't require any kind of like pixel perfect setups or anything.
Yeah, that's interesting still that I decided to go inside Swamp and not to dip the next crystal that is open to him. But
I mean, he can't finish Turtle Rock if the ice rod's not there. So I kind of understand this play. I know a lot of runners just will basically last location Turtle Rock if that's where the ice rod is. I don't know that that's what we're going to see here. Like, we're going to see Turtle Rock before, like, Eastern Palace, I think. But yeah, it's without Ice Rod, it just feels bad to go to Turtle Rock unless you have a lot of reason to believe that that's where the Ice Rod is.
For me personally, I would have gone to Turtle Rock, but not necessarily to look for the ice rod, but also to look potentially for the flute. Because
that's true too.
We're still looking for the flute, and I'd rather go first in a crystal dungeon, which would have progression, not necessarily if I want to finish it, but at least if I want to finish another dungeon. I don't know. I'm in the open category, not the invitational, so what do I know?
Adalor getting their cane here. See where they're going to head next. This might be purple chest.
Could look like it. I'm not sure. Did Adil also check the hammer packs? Can't remember that.
I don't think they did. So yeah, this is 3 checks for Adalor. So yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Left side swamp having a map and 50 rupees. Feels good.
Yep. Typical left side swamp.
Yep. I will personally lose many races to one item being over there and having it being a required item.
So meanwhile, Adilor is going to also check the K45, something we haven't seen yet from Gamachu's side. So could be interesting there as well. But
yeah, but interestingly,
Bat.
skipping out on Bat, yeah.
Yeah. That's risky. Not to say dangerous.
Still not finding anything in Swamp Palace here on Gamachu's side.
So far, it's a big bust.
And only one item left. It's either on Argus or it's in the big chest with the big key being on Argus.
Yeah. Quite time consuming for Gamachu. If Adilor decides to go to Turtle Rock instead, that could be really interesting.
Yeah. And a new check here for us viewing. We have the Bombos tablet. Although we'll probably see this very soon on Gamma's side if there's nothing here. Oh, there's silvers.
Alright, so both runners, or let's say Adilor is officially a tank now.
Yeah.
Blue mail, bird of sword, silvers. I'm not sure if he's gonna get half magic, but
Yeah, for sure.
Ganon fight is gonna be a formality.
Big key on Argus. Gamma obviously heading back inside for that last item. Also, I'll be back in like 5 seconds. Just have to step away for one moment.
So when we see that Adilor is also deciding to do the swamp play. So Adilor still, so to say, in the footsteps of Gamachu, so far not a good opportunity for him to maybe take an edge on the race. And with Adilor having skipped the powder check,
yeah,
if it's on powder, that could be complicated for him.
And Gamma going to get their silvers here, so... Again, as you said, the Ganon fight is a formality.
Then it's gonna be just see where does Gamachu want to go. I could see him clearing the mirror checks. K45 at least. I'm not sure if he's gonna go all the way to the village to get the purple chest and to do the powder.
And this looks like Gamma cleaning up the rest of those mirror checks that Adalor already did, so... And Gamma's gonna go finally do Magic Bat, I guess, after dropping down there earlier and just not being able to do it.
I mean, you don't often see a double dip bat, you know? It was not a required double dip, but still.
The real question is, does Gamma go all the way and do purple chest, or just head to Turtle Rock, which is the likely answer here? Even from his perspective, like... Oh my gosh, the shovel! You probably do the shovel first, right?
No,
this is Turtle Rock! What?
Funny thing is that, I mean, purple chest, no incentive to do it, but you get the shovel, and like, okay, hey, I can now drop my purple chest because I've got the check on the way. It's just gotten more interesting, but no.
Yeah, this is... You go out of your way to do Magic Bat, and you get the shovel. When you could have just not done Magic Bat and gone to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's so half a play, so to say. It's like, okay, I do this play. Oh, it pays out in something. I'm not gonna check it.
Like, I'm sure hindsight is going to make this statement sound really silly, but like, I don't like this play. You go out of your way and get the shovel, you should probably turn in that shovel first. But his chat is saying, yeah, Gamma's probably like 0% chance to get punished for this. Because it's Gamma. Gamma only goes where the progression is, right? Like, I mean, that's simply not true. We've seen that a lot in this seed. You know, there was absolutely nothing in Swamp Palace, but...
Yeah, but it's still, he's not going to get punished for it because his opponent decided to make the same play. The same
exactly.
Choice.
That's the thing.
The one thing that with Gamachu delaying the check of the shovel, that plays for Adilor because Adilor did not grab the shovel yet. They left the Magic Bat aside.
That's very interesting to leave that. Like,
I think
I don't know
I
why.
think they just forgot it. I think they really just forgot about the powder and were like straight focused on their Smith chain. Happens.
Right, so Gamma just finding 20 rupees on right side here.
And see, we're seeing also discussion in chat with a question. Imagining if Gamachu finds the flute in TR, if he decides to leave and go straight to Meyer.
So, personally, so here's my take on it. If you find flute in those first couple checks, like those first 3 chests, I think you do. Because there's plenty of checks that you're going to unlock with that flute. And none of them, like, yeah, it's nice when you're able to go mode Meyer. But I would rather have to, like, dig Meyer for the Ice Rod than go all the way through Turtle Rock twice.
Yeah, especially committing to going up to Laser Bridge and then going back through the old dungeon a second time later. Fully agree with you.
But if you find the flute, like, here in the lava chest, you continue through the dungeon because you're already like pretty committed. You're pretty far into the dungeon.
Yeah, halfway there, so why stop now?
Right. It's a very... It feels pretty razor thin. Like it's tough. And I see a lot of talk about saving the portal. There's also opportunities here to save the portal, but like I also feel like I've heard people talking about this before too, that like generally saving the portal just like very rarely saves most runners' time. Like very, very top runners that know exactly what they're doing and like have their like route figured out like 100 steps in advance. Sure. But like it's also like a mental sink.
Yeah,
So like
thinking about how to save the portal to make sure I didn't make any mistake. Now knowing that, okay, I should not use my mirror anymore, this kind of thing. It puts you out
yeah,
of the
like
routing.
I am personally not a fan of saving the portal literally ever. but that's just me. I understand why runners do it if they are capable of doing so and not, getting punished for it whatsoever. And yeah, we did find a net in Mimic Cave, so shout out to the net. Adalor getting their half magic here. So again, Ganon just even more of a formality.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, there's the flute.
And so far in the dungeon that, yeah, as you said, now you commit to finishing your dip of Turtle Rock first. I mean, you're just next to the laser bridge.
Gamma.
Yeah.
Falling not once, but twice. Before actually laying down that cane block. Clearly that was so Beer just made the joke in chat, clearly setting up the death warp, and I was actually going to say that, but I was like, wait, why would you death warp here? But his brain just clearly melted from finding the flute, so we'll excuse it.
I think his brain melted before that. I'll just refer to the early catfish.
Yeah.
Okay, and the ice rod is not in Turtle Rock.
Yeah. So, Gamma? What are... Okay, Gamma's going to attempt saving the portal here. Or... What are you doing,
What?
Gamma?
He needs first to go outside.
Okay, so... yes, needs to die outside.
Alright, so he really did set up a death warp.
Gamma did joke with me. We were chatting, I think last night, and he was saying, if anything goes wrong in the sea, just blame it on him just waking up right before the race and just being tired. So that's what we'll blame all this on.
Yeah, not buying it. I'm not buying that.
Controller malfunctions.
Or Gamma finding the bug net and...
There's our last 300.
Okay, and Adilor, who's gonna get their shovel. So I guess we'll check that straight away. So now we do have the Maya area. Also, we still have that green pendant and the pedestal.
Yeah, I mean, 100% we're going to see the Meyer area first.
Also,
and it's also, I guess,
still need ether.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's technically worth noting. Like, the ped could be ether to get into Meyer, to find the ice rod there. Like, it feels unlikely, but it's definitely possible. And it's Quake, so we're only looking for Ice Rod.
Yep. Which could be really anywhere.
Speaking of Quake for Meyer, just wanted to shout out our tracker this afternoon, The Ruck. Clicking buttons, making sure all of you viewers can see the items that these runners have found. And Gamma not quite having enough magic to use Quake, having to drink a potion there.
Currently, Gamachu has quite an advantage on his opponent.
Yeah, this is
It
looking
really
like
boils down to if the pedestal is required or not. If pedestal is required, then things are a bit more tight because Derek has also already cleared most of Eastern Palace, so only needs to go straight to the boss. They did also Fifth Down.
yeah.
One thing that Gamachu will first have to do.
Yep. With Adalor going to pod here, this almost seems like they are going to do Eastern immediately after, because again, if Adalor was counting items, he knows that there's no item on Helma here.
Yep. Think is just they're just setting their routing and thinking straight by just doing a few minutes of busy work. Like, okay, no need to think there, muscle memory. Let's focus on the routing. Where should I go now? Do I commit TR? Do I go to Eastern? Or what other options do I have that I maybe did not think of?
I missed something, but where did Gamma take 12 hearts of damage?
That's a good question.
Oh wait, he drank the green potion. He drank the green potion. I was like, he drank a blue potion before coming in here. Yeah, I'm like 0 IQ right now, so it's okay. Yeah, one item already out of Meyer. We found the fire shield. And also, make sure those of you in chat, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, follow both of these runners, Adalor and Gamachu. Both very, very good Link to the Past Randomizer runners. Putting on a great show for us this afternoon. Definitely worth a follow.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, they are also partaking in other randomizer activities like the Kabuki tournament, also the ladder. So, a lot of occasions to watch them live or see them train on some funny seats.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have one item left here in Meyer, and it's either going to be in the cutscene chest or on the boss. We do see Gamma heading to Vitreous here first, which makes a lot of sense. At this point, you're feeling that there's not many locations left that your Ice Rod could be. So you're almost certainly coming back in for the cutscene chest if it's not on Vitreous, so you might as well do Vitreous first.
Yep.
Adalor save and quitting, not going for the Eastern Palace play. And it is going to make the Turtle Rock dip, which, as GFE in chat is pointing out, you never call a race early because a billion things could happen, but that's almost likely to be GG. But we'll see.
Yep. It really depends on the Ice Rod location. If the Ice Rod is on pad, it's still a bit tight, but otherwise,
yeah.
That's
like the one place that it could still be. And 10 arrows, so that's our second item out of Meyer.
Yep. And now, question for Gamachu is, okay, where to go next? Will it be Thieves Down?
Well, Gamer still has not done Checkerboard Cave yet. Did Meyer before Checkerboard, so we're going to check that quick.
So, the portal is saved, is now gone. I fully understand the play of saving the portal. It's like, okay, if I get my Ice Rod really early, that's cool. I can really go straight back. Otherwise, yeah, you need to commit.
And that's exactly why I think he did Meyer before Checkerboard. And it's just 10 bombs. So we're looking at, I think, this is going to be the Eastern Palace play from Gamma, I think. It's the most dense location, and obviously already proved me wrong because he has not yet done the back of. Wait.
The
Oh,
fifth down.
this is Ped.
Oh yeah. So reading the pad to know, okay, do I go first to fifth down or do I go to Eastern? But I've got to say Eastern. Green pendant. You want to finish it.
Yeah, it's 4 items for Gamma that he has not yet gotten. That's clearly the play if this is nothing. Yeah, and it's just bombs. So I think it's green pendant turn-in.
Yep.
Because did Adelor found 3 items.
Adilor save and quitted after the big chest, so he had already
Yeah.
found the 3rd item there. I don't remember him going to the dark rooms.
Oh wow, and
yeah,
we're going for the back of Thieves Town first here. 2 items versus 4 in Eastern feels a little. Oh wait, nope. Again, proving me wrong. This is
What
purple
is
chest.
that?
Excuse me.
Smith at 30 minutes
What?
or 25 minutes and purple just an hour later. That's
Gamma,
great.
please. So, I chat with Gamma, like, not all the time, but somewhat frequently. Like, enough to consider him, like, somebody close enough that I can joke about this, so I'm going to say it, but, like, Gamma, you seem like you come off as a top runner. What was that check? What was that? Like, I do not understand that play whatsoever.
Because actually, if there were something there, you'd expect first your opponent to have done it a long time ago, so you need to commit something else. Maybe he thought that Eastern wouldn't be the play because his opponents might have done it way earlier.
Yeah, I guess so. But there's a lot of things going on with that, like, so I saw some people saying way earlier in chat that, like, with the, for example, the catfish play, it could, a lot of this could be Gamma just trying to capitalize on, like, he thinks he might have an execution advantage. And if you are a runner and you think you have an execution advantage over your opponent, you might make some more plays that you as an individual runner are less likely to make in a vacuum.
Yes, a bit more of metagaming.
Exactly. And you do see a lot of metagaming in tournaments where you know who your opponent is and you know some of their routing tendencies, right? So this could be a little bit of that. Completely fair, yeah. But I'm still going to just say, like, what the heck was that purple chest play? Just seemed very interesting to me. Yeah, Gamma actually checking their menu there to be like,
Meanwhile, Adilor will soon find his flute. First, we did also find something in the... Oh yeah, Bugnet was in Mimic Cave, so I expect Adilor to also open it. Bugnet being like the most important item of the game.
yeah, absolutely.
It's so important when people get you notice it already. That's why we don't have it on the tracker.
It's an important item because sometimes you need it in Swordless.
Oh yeah, Bugnet, I got one.
I actually had a seed like that the other night, and that's all I will say. But yeah, Gamma getting his green pendant here while Adalor is heading towards the back of Turtle Rock. Soon Gamma is going to turn in that green pendant, and unless we really miss something, is about to get their ice rod and be in go mode.
And if we miss something, so did Gamachu.
Yes, absolutely. And there it is at
Ta-da!
129.22. Gamma is in go mode.
That's a nasty. That's a really nasty ice rod. Because really, the whole game, you don't have any incentive to go there.
Yeah.
We've seen that Gamma went in with 1 hour 22 or 24 minutes first inside Eastern Palace.
Remember earlier when I said
there
you
are
get
so
that
many
bow,
things.
and you should
Yeah.
just rush green pendant Eastern because it might have something? Ninjembro, 200 IQ. Just saying. Kappa. But yeah, Adalor going to leave Turtle Rock here after not finding their ice rod.
Yeah, so it's almost a high five here.
Yep, and opting not to try to save the portal, which very good play, kind of as we know.
Funny, however, that Adilor opted not to take the heart refill from the priest. Because I'd expect his next play to be going to Meyer, and you like to have full hearts inside Meyer, so that the second room goes a bit faster, so it's a bit easier.
Right, right.
But
Became a fire rodding that enemy because it knocked him into the pit earlier.
I see also people in chat saying that Adilor will hate themselves for not having done Eastern Pass earlier. At the time where Adilor weren't inside Eastern Pass, he did not have a bow. So when you've got a green pendant, you've got 3 items, there's only green pendant itself that needs to be taken.
Yeah, like
it's not really sexy. It's not the play you want to do. Like, I don't think anybody in Invitational will be like, oh, you know what? I've got this open, that open. I'm just go back to a green pendant just for lols.
Yeah, Adalor pushed Eastern early without the bow. It was a little surprising that they didn't go back there when they made the pod play, because like you're going back to pod and you're not in go mode. And you know there's not an item on Helma. It feels like you're setting yourself up to do the green pendant turn in after that.
Yep.
So like that itself is surprising, but yeah, other than that, Adalor had dipped Eastern way early without the bow and found nothing.
And we spoke earlier of the formality with the Ganon fight, but do you think that Butter Sword, half magic, Trinex is also be quite the formality?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really fast 7th crystal here.
The one nice thing, like, you don't feel pressured to grab this magic decanter here, so you can just... Oh, Gamma proving me wrong, not believing in himself, so grabbing it. But you can also just get the zero cycle Trinex here with that Butter Sword. Very nice.
Yeah.
And looks like Gamma is going to get that zero cycle, so very nicely done.
Yeah, so we're soon about to head into GT, and we're gonna soon have the hunt for the GT big key on Gamachu's side.
Yeah, so that being said, Gamma picking up their 7th crystal here in a moment, so get your guesses in chat where you think the GT big key is going to be. There are 22 possible locations within GT for that big key. You know, Juber, where do you think? What's your guess?
I'm gonna say 11.
11.
Like middle of the road, yeah.
So I'm always when I'm doing commentary, I like to be a troll and just say 22. But I'm a big fan of the big key being in one of two locations, and people that know me know exactly why. Not specifically a number. I like it to be either in compass room with a small key in hope,
Yeah.
or in rando room.
Ah. Any location you hate, except tile room.
The Stalfos room. Only because of DM strats. Gamma is doing Hope Room first here. Is going to find two small keys.
Yeah.
So heading straight here to the compass room.
For me, that's the room with the 2 fire bars, because I like to do the GM strat, so having the the big key in the fire bar room is like just the worst thing that can happen to me when I do that strat, so.
Yeah. So let's see. 2 small keys in hopes feels very unusual. Again, not to draw away from Adelor, who is in Mire right now. Going to find out soon that Mire is not the answer.
Yeah, and it's gonna go also for the cutscene chest, which has either a small key or a dungeon item.
Hey, blue cane on Gamma side. So we're up to 6 and have not found the big key yet. Now Gamma's going to go full left, and we'll see if we find the big key there.
So number 7 with a torch.
7 was
Bob
just
will live. A green rupee.
Wow, okay, Gamma. Eight, 9. There's another small key. 10. And 11.
11. Wow, I won! Like the one time I don't put that in chat, it pops up.
Yeah, so Juver on comms and Crisco in chat. Although Crisco did get their guess in, after Gamma had Energy Tea, but it's all for fun. So, good job to both of you.
And almost good job to Zidball Dog 63, who almost said it. So, almost good job.
And Gamma heading up here into the GT climb, about to head into the gauntlet, as we call it.
Okay. Meanwhile, Adilor going towards Vitreous. Full heart, so needs to be careful. Think still has potions, but
yeah, potions, and also has the powder, so should be pretty safe. These rooms leading up to Vitreous are pretty free, and we're on silver, so the Vitreous fight itself is, as close to trivial as you can get. Adler finding out that something went wrong with Spooky, so it's just going to have to do the non-spooky strats.
Meanwhile, a pretty straightforward gauntlet for Gamachu. I mean, blue
Yeah,
mail, 15 hearts, but a sword, half magic, and
Yeah, a couple of the rooms in the gauntlet definitely trolled Gamma a little bit, but nothing unreasonable. And cleaning up Torches 1 pretty nicely. Opting not to grab the big magic there, and is just going to do... Oh, nice. Nice little strats there in Torches 2. About to head here into the pre-mortem chest. We're not going to pick up any more chests along the way, I'm pretty sure. So,
Yep.
rip Ether, rip Mirror Shield, and rip Red Mail as far as inventory goes. And Adalor finishing up Meyer, about to head to Eastern Palace, it looks like.
Yep. That's Western play, that's the right play, but sadly it comes a few minutes too late. Well, Gamachu coming up against Agatu.
Yeah, let's see how this goes for Gamma. I think that
Nice
might have just been it might have been a double, but that was definitely a double. Those two in that first cycle were pretty close together. Yeah, looks like a 2-2-1.
First was a double. Yep.
Oh.
So it seems like the second cycle, it's a double that registers only as a single.
Yeah, so it was a 2-1-1-2. Even though it looked like a 3-2. A 3-2-1-2 or something like that.
And people in chat pointing out that Adilor might enter go mode when Gamachu, so before Gamachu dot downs or as it dots down, but
yeah, it's going to be very close for sure.
It's going to be close, but I do believe that if Ganon doesn't warp a lot, Gamachu will dot down even before.
Gamma in the Ganon fight, of course. Going for some spin stretch, just, I guess, for swag? He has gold swords, so, I mean, no need to do so. But it is fun to just mess around when it's just going to take six hits either way. The warps are behaving pretty well here. Adalor cleaning up the Armos fight here, about to get their green pendant.
Yep.
And we're about to get a nice triple from Gamma, so...
Yep.
Unless
Nice
unless Gamma falls on the bridge, get your GGs in chat for Gamachu. And let's see who's first. So yeah, Gamma finishes with a racetime.gg time of 1:42:03. And it does look like Adalor did forfeit after seeing that and getting their ice rod here. But yeah, GG's in chat to both runners, and we'll see if we can get them in here for an interview.
Yeah. So I think this early mountain play for Gamachu really paid off and gave him an edge in the seat with being able to do pod at once, which already won him a few minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like we are joined by Gamachu. GG's.
Yo, hello, thank you, GG's.
So 3 things that I want to mention as we get into this interview, Gamachu. 1, it looks like your typical route of just, rushing mountain when you get that early glove certainly paid off. 2, what was that bat drop down when you were on the Smith chain?
Oh my gosh.
And
that
3,
was just...
and 3, you picked up the heart container on the mushroom turn in like a scrub, so GG.
Okay, dude, okay.
Yeah, GG's, and we are also joined by Adalor, so GG as well, Adalor.
GG, we both pick up that heart on the mushroom, so it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, but I like to give Gamma a hard time.
Okay.
Adalor, it's okay that you picked it up, because you're not
Okay.
Gamachu.
Got it.
And-
Understood.
And Gamachu's supposed to beat the
Adalor.
whole game on 3 hearts, right?
That did not. I didn't feel good when I picked up the ice rod. All I
Nor
had
did
left was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nor did I. It was a hard last locate. I had nothing left.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I routed it really well early on. The early bow, I like to route the old man as soon as if I get glove coming out of escape.
I thought about it. I was just like, maybe I should just do this real fast, but I psyched myself out of it. I'm like, no, I'll just grab it later maybe I get an early flute or something. Should have done it because that early bow would have been killer. You get that early bow and then you do Eastern early and just like commit to the whole thing, get green pendant, and you win the seed easy. Like getting the ice rod super early, like, yeah, just do that.
Yeah,
I wish, because I was also thinking about Eastern, because I like at one point I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna run to pod even though there's nothing there. I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna think about whether I commit to Eastern for maybe like green pennant and a blind pennant and a blind ped pole, and I psyched myself out of it. Like, no, most of the stuff's on the mountain. I'll just go up there. Should have done it.
There was no way I was gonna do that. Those pendants, the Eastern was in the back of my mind. Like even though I got the bow early on, it was out of logic. Once I got lamp, it was still the farthest thing in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
I really despise early pendant Eastern, and I just kept putting off until I was down to 2 bad choices: back of Thief Sound or Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it just I didn't feel good at that point.
God, the seed felt so bad. It's just like every pendant dungeon is empty except for green pendant from Eastern. It just feels bad because you're getting so late. I'm like, I haven't found any. I've wasted so much time with these pendants. I'm like, I don't know if there's any chance here. But,
Did you do Swamp before or after TR?
Before, yeah, that was before. Because by the time I got out of TR, it was all right. Let's go to Meyer, and the ice rod's probably there. I didn't have anything. I basically only had flute locked things after TR.
That one I consider going TR early, but I'm like, no, I mean, I'm missing the ice rod, I'm missing flute. Maybe I'm missing ether if it's required for Meyer. So I felt the swamp play was okay to make, and it just felt a whole lot of bad when there was just absolutely nothing in there but garbage.
It's just empty. It feels so bad.
The only thing that was of importance, you didn't even need to grab the flippers in Thief Sound. Like, nothing went swamp. You could just fake flipper to ice palace. It's just the green pendant turn in. The only thing of value in these pendants.
And you're set up so early to just like get your pearl. You can water walk to Zora. Like, you never really need flippers now.
Yeah, it's I felt really good. I did everything before even touching Kakariko. So I had Dark World access before I touched that.
Nice.
Everything.
Yeah.
It just worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, that was the one thing that we were saying once you got that bow early was how early does the Eastern play happen? Because it also looked like the cack skip was a potential play here, and it actually turns out that other than the Master Sword being there, I think the cack skip was completely possible this seed.
Yeah, there's like nothing there. Not even like any hearts or anything. We were on low hearts for so long. Like, at least I was. It was just just empty.
Yeah,
there was the bombos on Tick Kid. That was required for TR.
Oh, right.
Yeah, bombos.
Okay, yeah.
So almost.
Yeah, we were saying how very early, the at least on Gamachu side, because again the early bow, that pod early was very available, but on 3 hearts green male fighter sword, even invitational runners do not want to do.
I'm not gonna do that. I like to write hype cave to pod if I have bow, because I despise doing early hype cave. But if I have bow, I like to do pod. But I have no fire source. I didn't pick up a heart container in Vol of Light World. It's
right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I had
there are no early hearts.
No.
Right.
Most of them are in Paradox. God. What a seed.
I felt good about routing Spec Rock with Spike Cave. I held off till the very, very late. I don't like to go into Spec Rock too early on. I like to just save Old Man. That's it. I don't go up there to Spec Rock. I'll just hold off on that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I held on Ice Palace for a long time too. So I'm like, all right, we've seen where Samare is. and we just get it, and then I can just do ice. It'll be easier, and well, turns out it's locked behind ice because of course it is. That upset me a little bit. I was so late to mirror. I'm like, this feels really bad now.
That was cool to see. Oh, look at the canes right there. Okay, where's the cape? Oh, okay, cool. There's a cape. Where's the mirror now?
On Coldster, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, GG's again to both of you. Looks like I'm looking ahead to the next week of League. Looks like for Divine Beastie Boys, you guys are up against Rando Toddlers. And for Oops Owl Foxes, you guys are up against 2 Pearl, 2 Furious.
Yeah.
Any thoughts or expectations going into week 4, which is the co-op Retrance week, which actually lasts 2 weeks because of SpeedGaming Live coming up this coming weekend?
I'm just looking forward to my teammates doing what they can to try to maybe pull off a win. I am not playing that week at all, or those 2
Same.
weeks. Yeah.
Dodging. Gamma dodging.
Yes, I'm okay with that. I'm
Imagine.
100% okay with that. Retrance co-op, it's they enjoy it more. Ramon and Fear, so I'm not gonna argue. Go ahead, take it. I'll sit by and watch.
Me personally, I really enjoy co-op, and I actually do like Retrance, but like any endurance mode, I am not good at racing them. My brain just shuts down halfway through, and I don't know. I've never been efficient at doing endurance modes as much as I enjoy playing them, so I'm leaving that to my teammates. So Trey and Chloe will be taking care of those. I think I don't know. I feel like in general our schedule gets maybe a little bit easier as time goes on. So I'm not like I'm like super worried. Yes, we haven't picked up any wins yet, but it's been a tough 3 opening weeks so far.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
we'll see how the rest of it plays out.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you guys are 0-6 right now, but again, you guys are against 2 Pearl, 2 Furious next week, who are currently 1-4. So, as far as the standings go, like a lot can change, and looking like I've been talking with some friends and whatnot over the recent weeks, but like you look at the lineup in the entire Invitational League, and it's just tough all around.
Oh, it's stacked everywhere. Yeah, there's no easy division. Yeah, every division is crammed full of really strong talent.
Exactly, and again, Divine Beastie Boys, Gamma, your team is 6-0 now, so you gotta be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I like to think our team meetings that we have before every race, the words of encouragement I throw at them serves as an inspiration to maybe possibly get that clinch that win. I don't know.
Wow. Okay, dude.
No, but we really feel good. I feel good. We're not really looking. It's just all for fun, right? So it's been really fun up to this point. Next week they're gonna be taking care of business, hopefully. But yeah, it's been enjoyable all around.
And I think you touched on the most important thing. Like, everybody wants to be competitive, but at the end of the day, like the whole idea behind League is being, routed around fun. And I mean, I don't know about you two, but myself, I've been having a lot of fun with League since I started with League in season 3 with my first team, and then switching over to Bottles on Empty last season and sticking around with them this season. The whole idea behind League has been a really fun time, and I feel like it's a really great thing that the community has going on for it.
Yeah. Invitational League is definitely intimidating as hell, but yeah, it's been a blast so far. We got we're not even halfway done. We got more to go, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it too.
Yeah. Any last minute thoughts from you two before we close on out here?
Just thank you guys again, you too, Njempa and Juber, for doing commentary. I'm really looking forward to watching it back later, and Daruk for doing the tracking and putting up the restreams. Appreciate you guys putting in this time for this the restream.
Thank you.
Yeah, and good luck to you too, your team next week, Adelar.
Thanks, thank you as well. GG's again. This was an interesting seed. Still fun race. Had a blast.
Yeah, and again, GG's to both Gamachu and Adalor putting on a very good show for us this afternoon. Thanks again to Daruk for doing the tracking. For those of you that are still tuning in, it looks like we do have a little bit more league action coming up this evening. At 7 p.m. Eastern on SpeedGaming 2, we have Hammer Bro versus Brewers fan JP. And at 8 Eastern on SpeedGaming 1, we have Fear Agent versus Tracy M.
Two interesting matchups. Looking forward.
Oh wait, sorry. Both of those are the commentary. I'm Pepega. Those are just the teams. We have B Gone, we have Scoople versus Dawn Venture, and Relkin versus OC. 28. So I was looking at the people who signed up for commentary. I am very Pepega here. So yeah, you have Hammer Bro and JP on signed up for commentary, and Fear Agent and Tracy on commentary on sign ups. I was like, wait, Fear Agent? That's on the Divine Beastie Boys. This doesn't make sense. But yeah, thanks again, Juber, for co-comming with me. It's been a really good time.
Yep, thank you as well. And again, also thanks to Derek for tracking and making sure we got all these icons lighting up on time, even though both runners were sometimes in quite different places. That's not as easy as one could think.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna close on out. So see you all later.